Welcome to the CarWow guide to the 2017 Frankfurt Motor Show. I'm going to start this on the BMW stand because there's lots of cool cars to talk about. The first one is this, the Vision Dynamic. So what you're looking at here is just a concept for now, but it will probably make production in the form of something called the i5. Now BMW said that if this car went into production, it's going to have a range of about 600 kilometers, be able to do 0 to 60 in around 4 seconds and top out 120 miles an hour. Now we're going to come to a concept car, so it's the X7 concept. So this is going to be a production car. There'll be bits like these wing mirrors and maybe the crazy wheels will be toned down slightly, but the look of the car is going to be very much as is. Now it's quite an odd one, this. It's dividing opinion amongst our office and amongst the people here at Frankfurt as well. Take a look at the interior though. You can't dispute that that is a lovely interior and it will pretty much make it into production, bar a few changes, and it's a very spacious 6-seater, but it will be available, I think, as a production car with a 7-seat option as well. Now over here is the other car we've got in this little section. It's a mini electric concept, so this will go in production again in about 2 or 3 years as a fully electric version of the Mini. Now this is an all BMW show. They've got a load of cars actually, and I'll take you around them now. I'm sat in the new BMW X3 and I'm not going to give you too much detail on this car because I'll be doing a full review of it soon because I'll be getting to drive it. But from the inside, it feels nicer than the old one. So they've increased the quality. The dash design is in keeping with the latest BMWs and you've got a revised infotainment screen, thank God. And it's now touchscreen as well as swivel wheel, though I don't think it has the gesture control that you get on the iDrive in the 5 Series and the 7 Series. In terms of the exterior, well, you can have a look at it yourself. It follows on very closely of the old car, but you know, just with a bit more modern feel to it. Yeah, like I said, I'll be driving it soon and I'll let you know what it's like then. Well, I guess this is the BMW Z4 concept. I'll tell you what, it's a lot more masculine than the current Z4. In fact, I haven't been the biggest fan of Z4s. They've always looked okay, but not driven particularly brilliantly, which is odd coming from a company which claims to build the ultimate driving machine. Hopefully this latest version, when it goes into production, which will be about a year or two, should be a much better rival to something like the Porsche Boxster. This is the new BMW 6 Series Gran Turismo, and it's effectively a 5 Series with, as you've guessed it, a hatchback tailgate, so you've got a bit more practicality than the saloon, and a slightly curvier, bigger body style. One of the things about the Gran Turismos, I actually had a 3 Series GT, was that you got a bit more room in the back and the 5 Series is not tight on rear passenger space. This one's got its chair pushed all the way back, but I've still got loads of room. And the benefit with these hatchbacks is the increased headroom, and there's loads of it. It's a big, comfy car, but do you really need anything bigger than a 5 Series? Because it just doesn't look as good. I mean, what do you think? I'd rather have the saloon. BMW has facelifted the i3, and this is it here. I'm not entirely sure what's different about it. There is something that's definitely new though, and that's the fact you can get an S version which has more performance, so just over 180 horsepower from its electric motor, and it can do 0 to 60 in under 7 seconds. I love the i3. I had one for about 6 months. They're blooming brilliant, so I'd like this car. You could say that I've saved the best till last. This is the new BMW M5 in all its 4-wheel drive gloriousness. Quite like the paint scheme on this one. It's a little weird matte burgundy. It's odd. So the car, 4.4 litre twin turbo V8. It's got 600 horsepower, 750 Newton meters, and like I said, 4-wheel drive, but it can still do drifts because you can decouple those front wheels and just send all the power to the back. Yeah, it should be absolutely epic, and I'm going to be driving it soon. There is one thing that I found a bit odd about it though. You'll have a look inside, you'll see it's got the biggest ever gear selector. It's rather phallic. Here we have the new Dacia Duster. Now say new, I need to explain it to you a little bit. You see, underneath the skin, it is pretty much the same as the old Dacia Duster, but they've done a lot of work to the body, the interior, so everything you see and touch on this car is all new. The interior design's new, the panels, the seats, everything is new, and on the outside, they've used the same shape of the car, but they've altered it quite a bit, so it still looks like a Duster, but it's just modernised. It looks more expensive, it definitely looks more expensive. Good news is though, price is going to be about the same, so it's going to start from around £10,000. It's going to be a hit. It's going to be a hit. Well, it looks like there's going to be a hardcore GP version of the current Mini, and it'll be based on this concept, the Mini GP concept. I don't think the production car is going to have such crazy carbon fibre wings. That will cost too much. But The idea is there. So the current John Cooper Works Mini has 230 horsepower, so this GP is probably going to have something like 250. Still be front wheel drive, I imagine, but it'll feature wings and stripped out cabin and probably be a lot more uncomfortable than the current car, which would be brilliant. Right, I'm here on the Mercedes stand, and I think this car behind me is the star of the show, and I don't mean that as a pun because it's got a Mercedes badge on the front. It really is the star. Surrounded by loads of people, it's the Mercedes-AMG Project One. Essentially what you're looking at here is a Formula One car for the road. It's got the same powertrain, same 1.6 litre turbocharged petrol engine with hybrid system and electric motors that you get in Mercedes Formula One car, only it's a two-seater. So yeah, it can go on the road and you can take a passenger with you. It really is incredible. Should have over 1,000 horsepower, be able to do 0 to 200 kilometers an hour in just 6 seconds, and it'll top out around 217 miles an hour. It even has a pure EV mode, so you can drive along in electric power alone if you want to for around 16 miles. But why would you? Why would you? You want to use all that performance? What an incredible thing. Mercedes has announced its intention for a whole range of electric vehicles with the introduction of this concept. It's called the EQA. Now this particular car will actually form a production car which will go on sale in around 2020. It'll be a pure EV, and the size of it, well, it's a little bit shorter than a Mercedes A-Class, but it's wider and lower. The production car will actually be a 5-door. This is just a 3-door, but it shows the firm is planning a whole new EV range of vehicles. Mercedes is showing some real production cars here at Frankfurt. So I've got a facelifted version of the S-Class Coupe here. There's the facelifted S-Class Cabriolet over there. That's really it for production cars. Though over there is a Mercedes GLC F-Cell. That's just a concept, but there will be a production version of that GLC fuel cell coming soon. And over the far corner there is an electric smart car, but that is definitely just a concept, as you can see. Here we have the new Audi RS4 Avant, and it's basically the same deal as the RS5. So 2.9 litre twin turbo V6 engine with 450 horsepower, 600 newton meters, 0 to 60 in about 4.1 seconds, and you can have it de-restricted to 174 miles an hour. Oh, and it's got a massive boot as well. Lovely. Hi, I'm over here. Now you might be wondering why I'm all the way back here. It's because this R8 is actually rear wheel drive only. No power is sent to the front wheels. You've still got the same 5.2 litre V10 with 540 horsepower. But yeah, rear wheel drive, R8. They're only going to make 999 of these things, and it should be a drift machine. Apparently you can put the stability control into a special sports mode, and it'll let you do long drifts. And if you get a bit too carried away, it'll gather you up and straighten you out. If you want though, you can turn the stability control all the way off and see what your skill's like. This is the Audi Icon concept, and it's a little bit unusual, and what makes it unusual you may not like. You see, yeah, it looks very concept-y. It is a concept car, it's supposed to be electric powered. That's unusual. What's unusual is that it has no steering wheel at all. Yeah, it's a driverless car, complete driverless car. So how do you feel about that? Do you think it's good that cars will be able to completely drive themselves and you won't have to play a part in it? Well, Audi thinks it is, and maybe for this kind of car it'll work. It's obviously supposed to be a high-end kind of limousine with a sporty look to it, and those kind of people don't want to drive themselves, they just want to be wafted around. Volkswagen has unveiled a new sporty version of its Golf here at the 2017 Frankfurt Motor Show. They're calling it the GTI. Now I'm not entirely sure this concept's going to take off, but under the bonnet they're giving it a 1.6 litre petrol engine with 110 horsepower, which is quite a lot really. 0 to 60 is just 10 seconds. I mean, that's insane. And look at it, it's all very, very sporty. Yeah, it does stand out, but I'm not sure that's what people want. I mean, who wants a hatchback that's like fun to drive? I mean, what's the point in that? I'm sat inside the new Volkswagen TRoc, and there's something that disturbs me about it. So the interior design is very much like the new Polo, which is a good thing. Only on the Polo, the materials used on the top of the dash are soft touch. In this one, it's all hard, brittle plastic. And I don't understand that, because this is a more expensive car. It's also bigger than the Polo. In fact, inside it's slightly bigger than the Golf. I don't get that. Why have they done that? It's a shame, because the outside of this car looks quite expensive, really. It's got strong, bold creases, and with the contrasting bodywork and roof, you know, it does stand out. Oh, look, here's the new Polo GTI. 5-door only this time, but under the bonnet you get a 2-litre turbocharged engine to make up for all that. Looking forward to driving that. I'm not particularly sure why this car is so popular today. It's difficult to actually get in to see it. There's so many people swarming around it. Yeah, it was actually unveiled in a slightly different form not so long ago. What they've done really is change the colour. It's called the ID Cross concept, and it's basically VW showing what an electric-powered SUV could look like. My favourite thing on the VW stand here in Frankfurt is actually this. It's not even a car, it's a van. It's the California XXL camper van. So this probably should be called a glamper van, really. I mean, inside it's all very modernistic, it's very spacious, nice and airy, though it is only a concept for now, I'm afraid. I hope they make it. It's kind of cool, isn't it? Seat is showing off its new Arona small SUV. It's basically Seat's version of the Volkswagen TRoc. A bit more Spanish flair, I suppose, if you believe the brand marketing. I think I'll probably go with the Volkswagen, to be fair. So here we have the Seat Leon Cupra R. Got a 2-litre turbo with 310 horsepower, so the same horsepower output as the Volkswagen Golf R, only this is front-wheel drive only. It's got a clever diff and all that kind of stuff. But it's also got a load of styling upgrades, so those crazy wheels, which can be awful if you curb them. And at the front, there's actually carbon fibre for the front splitter. Real carbon fibre, not fake carbon fibre like you get on a Civic Type R. This is the Skoda Vision E, and it's the firm's first ever fully electric car. A production version will go on sale in 2019. It'll have around 300 horsepower and all-wheel drive. Yeah, look, it's the new Skoda Karoq, which replaces the Yeti, but it's effectively Skoda's answer to the Volkswagen Tiguan. In fact, underneath the skin, it's pretty much the same as a Volkswagen Tiguan. This is the Bugatti Chiron 42-second car, and it's called that because it set a world record. It's gone from 0 to 400 kilometers an hour to 0 again in just 42 seconds. In fact, it got to 400 kilometers an hour in 32 seconds, then took 10 seconds to brake to 0. Here we have the new Porsche Cayenne. Looks rather like the old Porsche Cayenne. And over here we have the Porsche Cayenne Turbo with some big garish vents at the front. This is the Porsche 911 GT3, but there is something different about this one. If you follow me around, you'll see what it is. So normal GT3 inside, you get it with a manual gearbox, naturally aspirated engine. But look here at the back, where's the wing? There is no wing. They've got rid of the wing. So if you want a GT3 without all that showy business at the back, this is your car, the GT3 Touring. I think I'd rather have this. Here we have the new Bentley Continental GT. Now it's clearly identifiable as a Bentley Continental GT, though it does look way more modern than the old car, which was a little bit bulbous. This one, it's sleeker, it's sharper. There's some amazing lines on it actually. And when you check out the interior, you will be blown away. It's gorgeous. Quality is amazing. It also has a high definition infotainment display, but you can press a button and that will flip round to either be hidden, or you can flip it around again to show 3 analog dials. One for temperature, one for air pressure, another is a compass. And of course it's a Bentley, it's supposed to be oldie-worldy, blended with the modern. They finally released it, the Renault Sport Magan. Actually, it should be Magan Renault Sport. So what you need to know, it's got a 1.8 litre turbocharged petrol engine, 280 horsepower as standard, but you'll be able to get a 300 horsepower version called the Trophy. The car is front-wheel drive, but it's got clever suspension to minimise torque steer. There's also a limited slip differential available if you go for the Cup chassis with load stiffened suspension. You can get it with 4-wheel steering, so it aids low-speed manoeuvrability and high-speed stability. You can get it as an automatic, but thankfully there's also a manual version. Pricing, it's going to start from around £30,000, be available early next year. This is the Renault Symbioz. Now, hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. What it is Renault's vision of the future car from 2030. So the idea is that it syncs with all your smartphone and all that kind of stuff, your digital life, but it also integrates seamlessly with your house somehow. Like this. That's why there's like a couch over there and like an open plan kitchen and stuff. Bizarre. This is 2030 apparently, according to Renault. If you fancy some old school style hot hatch thrills, then Suzuki has the answer with its Swift Sport. So this car, it has a 1.4 litre turbocharged petrol engine with 140 horsepower. That may be modest, but if it's like the old Sport, it should be a lot of fun to drive. This car is all about lightness, keen driving and affordability. So here on the Honda stand we have a concept car, this urban EV concept, which is like a small city car which actually looks really cool and has a digital grille. Obviously not a grille because it's electric, but yeah, where the grille would be, it's digital. Then over here we have a prototype plug-in hybrid of the CR-V. That's actually the European spec CR-V. The Americans have had a CR-V in this shape for quite a while now, but here's the European version. Behind me is the Kia Proceed concept. So the design of this car is supposed to inspire the next Ceed hatchback. However, it does hint that there'll also be a fastback version. If you're wondering what a fastback is, it's basically an estate, only sportier. Kia has also brought its small hatchback SUV thingy to Frankfurt called the Donek. It's a weird name really. There's also the Hyundai equivalent which is called the Kona. That name's much better. I actually prefer the look of the Hyundai as well. This is the Cherry Egg CTX. So yeah, it's a Chinese SUV. But the big news about this one is we're going to be getting it in Europe. That's right. First time ever, the first ever Chinese SUV officially sold in Europe. Now, as well as the Kona, Hyundai is also showing this, the i30 Fastback here at Frankfurt. So it's a swooping hatchbacky version of the i30. Looks a bit smarter. They've obviously got the i30N hot hatchback, and that's about it. In fact, that's about it from me from this show. I'm absolutely blooming tired, and this guy's just going to walk right across my shop. For the very last shot, I'd made it through the entire day without that happening, but he was waiting for me. He was clearly waiting for me. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, subscribe to our channel by clicking on the logo. Also, click on the video windows to watch more content. And yes, I may have missed out a few cars, such as the Ferrari Portofino, but here's a picture of it now. Hopefully that'll suffice.